welcome to our UDL 101 course. All right, I am really looking forward to being your course guide. All right, so this afternoon, I'm just going to be doing a quick walkthrough, to help you in terms of, understanding how to navigate the course and, expectation, what constitutes course completion and how do I get my free certificate from Bethlehem. All right. So that's what this course, this little webinar is all about. So I just really want to welcome you guys. I know that for you to be here, it speaks to your volition, your will, because it's not something that is timetabled, and you have decided to take time out of your schedule to be here. And I know it's exam time, so I am cognizant of that, and I will not be keeping anybody for long. All right. So welcome, guys, to UDL 101. This is our first self-paced course on our eCampus. And I'm hoping to find more resources that I can put on the eCampus to allow persons to engage in, independent learning, and that can benefit them professionally, in your area of expertise as well as in other areas, just for you to get by. All right, now guys, so as I said before, I will not be long. So welcome to you all. All right, the course code is UDL 101, but the course title is Disability Awareness, Universal Design for Learning in Tertiary Education. All right, you can just give me a thumb up if you have heard of UDL before, or just a thumb up or a thumb down if this is the first time, not the first time, you'd have heard of it since we started. But have you heard of it before this this encounter from my email and stuff? Have you heard of UDL before? Just thumb up if you have, thumb down if you haven't. Let me look on the participants list. All right, don't be afraid to put the thumb down if you've never heard of UDL, Universal Design for Learning, before. Thumb down if you have never heard of it, and thumb up if you have. All right, I'm seeing some thumb down. That's who, that's Dacia or Isabella. Yes, it seems like both. I'm not seeing any thumb up. Anybody heard about UDL before? Universal Design for Learning. All right, good. So from the number of thumb down I'm seeing, I have to say you are at the right place. And even if you have thumb up, it will never hurt gaining some new knowledge. Yes, Mr. Thorpe, I see the thumb down too. All right. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So yes, we're all here ready to learn something new. So our course is Disability Awareness, Universal Design for Learning in Tertiary Education. It is available on BMC's eCampus, which is accessible through this URL. So if you look on the screen, you'll see the URL ecampus.bmc.edu.jm. So for persons who have never used the eCampus, I think like, let me go back to the participants list. For persons who have never used it, like Miss Query, I cannot find you on the system, but I understand because you would have joined after we would have done our training and stuff on the eCampus, and so another training is due. Definitely another training is due for staff. All right, but what I'm gonna do, I'm asking for new persons who have never used the eCampus. That's this platform over here that I am showing you. Sorry, guys, I think I pull up the wrong thing. Right, so this is the platform. So remember, in order, if you have never used it, you have to type in this ecampus.bmc.edu.jm, your address. You have to type it in, all right? And there is a little presentation that I would have shared with you. I'm gonna go through that quickly.
Excuse me, before you move on, just please repeat what we should type in, please.
Okay, right. So it's on the screen. Are you seeing it? eCampus. Look at the URL. Is my screen being shared? Is everybody seeing my screen? I just want to know if my screen is. All
Yes,
right.
miss.
So in the address bar up top here, you'll see ecampus.bmc.edu.jm. All right. You have to type that in order to gain access to the eCampus. I can see that only like less than 3 persons who have not been on it. And so most of everybody else, 95% of persons who have signed up, I was able to locate them to add them to the course. All right. So for new persons who have never used it before, you have to verify your account. How do you verify the account? Let me just get that. Let me just get it up. Just a minute, guys. Without that presentation up. So I'm gonna be going through 2 areas. So the first thing is gaining access to the eCampus. So first, BMC's eCampus. All right. So there are just two important things to note. For persons who are first timers, you have to verify your BMC email on the eCampus. You have to verify that email. So I sent out a presentation outlining the steps. All right. So the first few steps would be for the persons who are first timers. So if you have never used the eCampus before, then these steps would apply. So you would type in the ecampus.bmc.edu.jm URL that I just shared, and it would take you to this page. All right. Once you type it in, it will take you to this page. You will just have to click on the Google button. There's a Google button right here that the arrow is pointing to. Good. And the preferred browser is Chrome. The preferred browser to access the eCampus is Chrome. All right. You can use other browsers, you know, but you might encounter some, you know, unnecessary hiccups. So I'm telling you, the preferred browser is Chrome, Google Chrome. All right. So you open a browser on your computer or your smart device. All right. And then you use the BMC eCampus URL to access the learning management system. All right, and that is ecampus.bmc.edu.jm. And then you log in by clicking the Google button that is shown on the screen here. All right, now for first timers, it is going to send a verification email to your BMC email. All right, for first timers, and it's only going to happen once. It is going to send a verification email to your BMC account, your BMC email account. You have to go to that BMC email and you have to click on the verification link to access, to open the entry to the eCampus. If you do not respond to the verification email, you will not gain access to the eCampus, where you can access courses and where you can also create your courses for your students to access resources. All right. So Miss Query, it's not just one benefit to gaining access to the eCampus. Right. You're now coming on to gain access to UDL course, but it's also a platform that the college invested in that you can also offer blended or fully online courses through. All right. Yes. So the BMC eCampus is our virtual school environment. All right, and it is only accessible through our BMC email, whether staff, BMC staff email or BMC student email. All right, so it is our platform. And so this is the first self-paced course that is gonna be offered on the platform, and we're hoping to get others. So like Mr. Thorpe is here. Let us say Mr. Thorpe is interested in putting up a self-paced course to, you know, probably build some foundation skills in mathematics. We can also try to get that kind of course up for students who are interested. But anyways, I know some students just want to, you know, get right to the UDL part, but I have to show you how to access first. So after logging in and verifying, all right, you use your BMC email and password to authenticate your pass or your entry to the eCampus. All right, so you have to click the verification link and it will take you back to the eCampus space. And that is where now you will enter with your BMC email. All right, remember you cannot access the eCampus with any other email. It has to be your assigned BMC email. All right, you will then be transported to the dashboard. That is where I'm at right now. That's here. So this is the dashboard of the eCampus, and I'm in my account. So once you're in, you can, you know, edit your account, your profile and stuff, add your photo and those kind of things. All right. All right. So out of that now. So that is how we access the eCampus. So first, you have to click on the URL. Move this out of the way. You have to go to the URL and type in the ecampus.bmc.edu.jm. There are other ways to access it, like, you know, going through the college website and stuff, but I'm just showing you, you know, just this is, I wouldn't even say all the ways are simple, but I'm just showing you one of the many ways to access the eCampus right now. I'm not gonna confuse you with all the many ways, just showing you one way for now. And after you get comfortable with this one way, then you will learn and explore other ways. So for now, you will just simply type in ecampus.bmc.edu.jm. If you're a first timer, you will have an extra step to complete where you have to verify your account and then return to the eCampus, and then I can add you. If you do not verify your account, I will not see you. I will not be able to pick you up and add you to a course on the eCampus. All right, so that is for first timers. For those of us who are not first timers, whether you have been enrolled in a course before or you have taught a course on the eCampus, it means that you would have verified your account already. And so once you type in the address, it will automatically take you to the dashboard. Once you type the address in and you enter your credentials, your eCampus credentials, it will automatically take you to transport you to the eCampus dashboard. That's right here. All right, so how do I now access the course? After you have access now to the dashboard, I have to add you first. So after completing the application, I would have enrolled the persons who expressed an interest. And so once you have been enrolled, when you come to the eCampus and you click on, you can simply, to find the course, you click on Site Home. All right, and you will see all the courses that you're in. That's one way. So you click on Site Home and you can, you know, look through the courses. You'll see under My Course, you'll see all the courses that you're enrolled in as a student. So this is the disability course that you're going to be clicking on. So once I have enrolled you in the course, when you hold on, who is that? I need to, Verona Gray, could you please mute? Let me see if I. All right, thank you. I'm gonna ask everybody to just mute until the floor is open for the questions. All right, I understand. All right, now guys. So once you have entered the eCampus, you just simply go to the menu bar at the side. All right, just below dashboard there, you'll see site home. All right, you can access the course by just looking under my courses to see if you find the course name, or you can search for the course by name or by course code here. Where I have search courses, you can type in UDL 101 and you can click go or enter. All right, and it will search for that course for you. So my system is a bit slow, but it's coming. All right. Oh, have UD 101. All right. So good. So I have typed the wrong thing, which is good. So if you notice that it says no course was found, then you know something is wrong here. So I think I left off the L, and so I put in my L, so UDL 101. So you can search for the course by course name or course code. And I'm gonna now click go or enter. I'm hoping that it works. Awesome. And this is the course. And now I can click on my course to enter the course. All right. And this is your course. All right, guys. So there are really 4 sections. You have the introductory section of the course that says general, begin here. And I will also be showing the tutorial. I'll be placing this recording in this particular section. So when I'm not going to be doing another live session, so all other new students will simply have access to the recording from the first video. All right, so I click on, when you enter the course, guys, for the main sections, listen now, the main sections, you have your begin here, and then you have let's get started. This is where the bulk of the content is, and the assessment. Very important. However, there are some built-in restrictions in the course. So you cannot access this. You can pass over it, but you can't really access the content until you have satisfied the requirements here, which is basically just an introductory discussion. So I'm going to take you into that. So you have an introductory discussion and some other resources here. You have the content in this tab. All right. And you also have a quiz to complete after being exposed to the content here. And then there is a follow-up discussion forum that you must participate in. And that's basically it. So you have an introductory discussion, you must complete it. Then you have the content and a quiz, and then a follow-up evaluation. All right, so let's jump in. Good. So I click on the first tab, general, begin here. Good. And you'll notice that there's my nice little welcome banner to class. And then there are these tabs that we can click on to access whether content or discussion forums or announcements or so. This first one here is our course outline. So for persons who, it's very important to always know your course and the content that you'll be exposed to, you're expected to be exposed to, that's the course outline. And as I said, I'm going to be adding the assessment. Remember that for the assessment, it's 2 discussions. That's the introductory discussion, the culminating discussion, or the concluding discussion, and the quiz. In order to complete the quiz, you have to go through the content on UDL, which covers everything that you have on the course outline. So the course outline is accessible on the space. You can always click on it and download the course outline. All right. And from the course itself, from the content, introduction to UDL, from that, you will have access to the quiz. So the quiz will not open up until you have completed all 4 modules in the package that is there. So there's a nice little interactive package, and at the end of each module in the package, you have some questions, 5 questions at most. to answer. All right, so you have to go over all this content and complete the quiz, and it will not move on until you complete the quiz, guys. I'm telling you. So it can be done in an hour, 2 hours. It can be done in a week, depending on how quickly you complete the content and how quickly you understand it. All right, and so when you're finished, then you will have that quiz to be done. So this is the module, this is the course outline. So these are the 4 modules: Introduction to Universal Design for Learning, the Universal Design for Learning Framework and Guidelines, the rights, responsibilities, and resources, and getting started with Universal Design for Learning. All right, and it has its concluding quiz that you will do at the end. So remember now, guys, 2 discussions and a quiz. That's what you have to do to satisfy the conditions of completion for this course. And if you have time, one day can top it off and finish up everything. But I know we have exams and marking and all of those things. So you might, you know, you have 2 weeks, a 2-week span, so you can start working and, you know, continue afterwards. So that's the course outline. And then I will be adding announcements in this section. You can check for updates. Any updates will be added in the general announcements area. So I had a welcome message here that was also used to guide those who wanted to start the course before this live webinar. So there I had some little instructions and a little welcome and some little images to say, how do you respond, how do you proceed, and how do you respond. So I will add you know, I will add little bits of information, announcements in this area. But as I said before, any problem you have, just drop me a line, send me a message. You can also send me a message in the course itself. All right, so let me move on now. So from here, there are many ways to navigate, guys. You can click on, let us say you come here and you're not too sure how to get back anywhere. There's always the menu bar visible at the top. So you can go right back to the course. So you can go back to the course itself and start back from here. All right. So when you come here, so you'll always have the menu bar available up top to click on. If you feel like you have gone far in, you're not sure how to get back, or so you can always click on the course, click on any of the tabs at the top that you're comfortable going back to. All right, it's always there for navigation. Or you can just click on the back button or the forward button. So when I go inside here and I am finished with the announcements and so forth, let us say I'm finished with this, the announcements, there is always a forward button, next activity, and this pushes, it propels you to the next activity. So you can click on this as well to move forward. And there's always the back button as well. So previous activity, so you can move forward and backward, and as well as you can use the menu bar at the top for navigation. All right, so I'm in, and I would have added this welcome, this hello message. And this is the discussion that I'm expecting persons to respond to. It has a little welcome there, and you can choose to do your welcome, you know, however best, in whatever format. So let us say you want to do, you can respond by typing in, you know, a textual, using textual or written text, or you can use a video. So I'm gonna click on reply here. So once you click reply, you can then choose how you want to respond. So you can write the text here, or if you want to use a video, suppose you're not really into the video part, into the typing, you can click advance, and it will give you the option now to add different formats to your text, your message, sorry. Good. So you can click on, once you click advance, you can click audio and do a recording, And that would be enough for your introduction. All you need to do is to ensure you answer the questions that are there, or you can do a video. Suppose you want to do a video recording of your response to the discussion. So you can choose to do a written text response, an audio response, or a video response, you know. But if you're doing audio or video, for it to be done you know, seamlessly, it's always better for you to have some script, something written that you're going to follow, so that you know you're not just winging it. All right. And so I'm encouraging you, use whichever format you're most comfortable with. That is what UDL is all about. UDL is about removing barriers, you know, asking and providing multiple means of engagement, multiple representations of content. So content is not represented in just one way. All right, because there are students among us who might not declare that they have a disability, but then they have a preference. And when you don't respond to their preference, it becomes a barrier in some instances. And so universal design, as you go through the content, you will see that UDL is not only for special needs students, because there was a time when persons thought that universal design for learning was for students who had physical disabilities, and that is not the case. All right. If there is a if there's a language situation, UDL is for you. So if you have students in your class, let us say nowadays we realize, oh, you know, well, not nowadays, Jamaica, you know, our motto out of many one people. So you have the Chinese, and the Chinese are here with their language, and you have those who are in different parts of the island with different types of different language in a sense, but it's not really different language. You understand what I'm saying? And so we want to ensure that we remove the barriers. We provide, you know, multiple means of engagement, multiple means of actions, multiple means of representation. And that is what you're going to come across when you talk about universal design. What do we build in to accommodate the diversity in our classes? How do we ensure that all learners can access the curriculum? That is what it is. How do we ensure that all learners can access the curriculum? All right. So we're coming from the idea where there was a separate curriculum for special needs from the curriculum for average learners. The idea here is we need to build curriculum that is more inclusive, where, you know, like a buffet style kind of thing, where it's one curriculum, but it is so diverse and so, you know, innovative in its design that anybody can come in and find something that suits their learning style. All right. And that's what the first discussion is about, your learning style. What type of learner are you? It's important for us to know the type, the group or the cohort that we are teaching, and the type of learners. All right. Many times people teach to what they call the average, but UDL is saying, you know, really, there isn't really that what we call an average learner per se. We all have, you know, some form of preference, or, you know, we all have some preference in terms of our learning style. So try to cater to all the different styles in your instruction. We know it won't be easy, but you know, you approach it, you know, bit by bit. So it's not like you're going to decide to just make this radical change altogether, but at least try to make some accommodations. So like there is this approach to UDL to say, they call it the +1 approach. And with this approach now, it's like if you used to represent all your content textually, add one more format now. So now you can say, all right, you know what, for the next term, I will add audio. So I'm going to try to represent my content in both text and audio. You might not be able to do every single thing in both formats. All right. Another term, you might decide, all right, I'm going to add some videos now. And before you know it, you have multiple formats in terms of multiple representations of the same content to cater to the diversity that is in your class. All right. So the idea is try not to approach UDL like this one shot. It's a continuous process. All right. And there are many approaches, many approaches. And one very important thing that you always have to consider is accessibility. How can my students access it? If it's face-to-face, what I'm doing, how accessible is it? How do I cater to the needs and ensure that all the different learners can access whatever it is, whatever content I am delivering? All right. So UDL goes for face-to-face modality, it goes for blended modality, and it goes for online modality. So UDL cuts across all modalities. All right. So what I have on the screen here is, showing you how you can respond to the discussion forum, that you can choose to respond with text, you can choose to respond with audio, video, and if you want to add pictures too, you can click on this tab here, insert a picture and write something around it, that ties in, that helps you to express, however you feel about the questions that are there. All right, that's just a part of it. All right, multiple means of representation, multiple means of actions and expression. All right, multiple means of engagement. So try not to stifle students and put them in a box to say that everybody must type, everybody must do it this way. No, that's what we are running away from. All right, so as I said before, UDL is for able and those who have disabilities. For those who are able to do the thing on the, based on what we call the average, and those who might need some little accommodations. You understand? UDL is for all types of learners. All right. So disability awareness, universal design for learning. This is our welcome message, and you're expected to respond to it. So first, you'll read through, guys. First, though, I would like to learn more about you, so please answer the following in whichever format best suits you, whether written text, audio, or video. Describe your learning style. If you don't know it, feel free to use the link here. Just click on this little link and it will allow you to complete a questionnaire. And from upon submission of that questionnaire, upon completion of the questionnaire, when you submit it, it will give you a summary of the learning styles that your answers match. So you have to be honest, you have to be honest. If you want to get something that closely resembles you have to be honest. So you click on the link and you complete that little questionnaire. And I'm thinking it's a good activity for anybody interested in teaching, knowing your learning style, knowing how, because many times teachers, they teach learners who learn like them or like themselves. And so it's important for us to not be biased, because like if I'm a visual learner, by default, when you're teaching, you're focusing on the visuals. Most of your presentations will appeal to the visual learners, and you might not think about the tactile learners, and you might not give a lot of regards to that. And so it's important to understand your learning style as an educator as well. And it's important for you to also use different surveys, whatever is available out there, to identify your learners' learning styles as well. So that when you're creating instruction, when you're creating resources for your classes, your students, you can actually reach more students. That's it. You want to reach as many students. You want to ensure that whatever you're doing, we call it accessible. The most amount of students should be able to access your resources and learn from it and stuff. All right, any question before I move on from this first discussion here? You just simply come to the the first tab, right? Let me go back up there. So back here, right back here, getting started. Gonna cancel this, that was here. Don't need this anymore because I just show you how you go about responding to it. All right, and so just good. So I'm back here, getting started. So you have to try to respond to that discussion. And after you have completed that, then it will move you into the let's get started. All right, let's get started. So before I move on, any question?
Not from me, Miss.
All right, you think
No,
it's
you.
straightforward so far?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome.
Tamara here.
Yes.
I have completed the introduction, right?
Awesome.
But when
awesome.
when I click onto the next activity, it's saying to
Yes.
me that it has been restricted, available until the activity introduction to UDL is marked complete. So
All right,
you're the person that should mark it complete.
Let me come over here and look at it. Let me look.
Okay,
I'm
miss.
coming back over there. That's Tamara.
Yes, miss.
All right. So welcome. All right. It's supposed to automatically, once you have completed it, Tamara, so you'd have gone here, click on hello. All right. And you would have clicked on reply. So I'm just looking through Tamara. I'm yet to respond to some like newer posts. All right. Okay. All right. So let me see. I'm looking for Tamara. All right. So that's Tamara here. Right. So you would have responded. And it is saying what messages you're getting, Tamara, when you click on this? When you click on this?
After I finish the introduction and I click to the next activity, it is saying that it is restricted, not available until the activity introduction to UDL mark complete.
All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna have to have a look at it. But when you're finished, I'm just gonna continue and then I'm gonna just look back through the restrictions. You probably can stay on with me a little after I'm through here tomorrow and we just wrap it up because probably it's something that is gonna affect others too. All right, I'll look through.
Okay, miss.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. So as soon when you're finished and you click on the next button, it should take you to this activity, introduction to UDL, and you will see enter. All right, you just click on the enter. All right, you click enter. So once you have completed the discussion, you click on the forward button. All right. All right, so this is because I went through all of it already, and then it will open the learning resource for you, the learning object, which is a SCORM package. All right, if you click on the menu tab here, it will give you the same course outline, the topics that would have completed. My thing takes me to the end here, but from the menu, your own, from where you're at, you will not come to the end. This is because I would have gone through everything, making sure that all the things are working in the package. You will start off right here at introduction, and you'll notice that everything here is ticked, meaning that that section was completed. All right, so basically once you click on the menu tab, it will open up the menu option for you, and it is built in such a way that you have to pass over everything. All right, because everything is important and everything adds to the quiz that is coming up at the end of the module. So you just click on the menu tab and then the options will appear for you to go through. And at the end of each module, you will have a summary. So like right here, you have module 1 summary and module 1 quiz. I know somebody wants to see module 1 quiz, but you're not going to get the question today. You're going to have to work on that one. I have to pass through the content, but I'm going to show you how, right. So when you're finished with the quiz, you will see the score. But I would have gone through all the things before, ensuring that all is well. And for me, I'm just gonna click test again, take again to show you how you'd go about that. So I have take again. So to do the quiz for each of the activities, you will have your instructions here. You'll have 5 questions. You have to score at least 80% on the quiz to move to the next module. So in order to move to module 2, you have to score at least 80% on the quiz for module 1. You have unlimited attempts, all right? And that means that you can, if you get 60%, you won't see the correct answers, but all the answers are in the resources that are the resource that is provided, all right? All the answers are there in the module that it is testing. So if you got 60% for module 1, you have to look now to see what did you get wrong. You might not be, you won't get the correct answers. So you will have to look carefully at the questions, look back at the questions, and then look back, go back to the content and try to see if there was something that you were off with, and then come back and click take again until you satisfy the requirement for passing module 1. Until you're satisfied that, you won't be able to move. All right, guys. So that is what I'm telling you. You can complete it quickly depending on how quickly you get the content. All right. If otherwise, it might take you some time, but don't give up. All right. The content is very good. The content is important, and it will help you to be a more effective instructor. All right. It will help you to understand the science of learning as well. Not everything, is a little course, guys, but it will still add to the understanding of the learning science in terms of how people learn. All right. The different mental strategies that have to be considered. All right. And so I'm encouraging you, do not give up. If you're trying and you're not getting that minimum requirement, I'm suggesting that you probably pause and return to it at another time. All right. And to pause, it is suggested that you don't just click X at the top here and close the whole program, because you might have to start over from the very beginning. Suppose you reach quiz 3 and you are having a hiccup. Don't just close out the whole program, because you might find yourself having to start back from module 1. So what you do, you click on exit course so that it can register your attempt. And when you open the system, it will start back from module 3. All right, guys? It will start back from module 3. As it relates to your, all right, so when you're finished with all these modules, I'm not sure why this is saying my system resource is low. All right, so when you're finished with this learning object, you will click on quiz. And the quiz is a 20 multiple choice quiz. And it is all tied back to the same learning object that you just used. Some of the questions will be repeated. So pay attention. You will have unlimited attempts again. All right, you will have unlimited attempts. So it means that if you go through and you get anything wrong, it's 20 questions. So I'm not sure how you're going. So you have to try to get it. You have to try to get the content. Try to understand the content. Look at the questions that you're being quizzed on throughout the modules, and ensure that you have an understanding of the content, and then attempt the quiz. All right. So when you attempt the quiz now, you have 1 hour to complete the 20 questions. If you don't satisfy the 80% requirement for the quiz, you still have unlimited attempts again to complete it. All right. So as I said before, every single thing is wrapped up in the learning object that is there. Once you have satisfied the requirement for the quiz, then you just move on to the reflection. It's just, again, you can use any format for your reflection. All right. What was your greatest takeaway from the course? How will this course impact your future practice as a teacher? How can BMC become more UDL friendly? What are your suggestions for course improvement? And that's just you writing. Nobody can mark you and say you get 20% for this. This is your perspective. All right, and so you will complete this, but you can't complete this until you complete the quiz. You can't complete the quiz until you go through the content. You can't complete the content, the learning object, until you complete the introductory discussion. So that's just some of the built-in restrictions to ensure that you go over the content, because what you find is that in some instances, people just pass on questions and, you know, people just complete things and not even understand what they're doing. They just complete and get the certificate. But we really wanted to understand, because we're aiming to start something at Bethlehem, a UDL program, movement, all right, that can actually, you know, go out and feed out into the schools around us, so that we can help our schools to improve, help our teachers to improve in terms of catering to diversity. All right. And so we want persons who understand, and we'll get more programs on UDL and we'll put them on the platform. But we want to get this one out of the way. We want to understand this and master it, and then we move on. And as I said before, there are other programs. I know Miss Query is with us. If we can find any program for her area, that can, you know, can be offered in terms of self-paced, we will also have those kind of programs. So these are for what we call capacity building. Capacity building. So you're not just leaving the college with your degree in teacher education, but you also have a certificate in some particular area that shows that you're competent somewhat in that regard. All right, so these are capacity building courses, and this is the first. All right, now, so that's basically it. I said 15 minutes, but I think I talk a little bit too much. I will not be keeping you for much longer, because I know it's exam time, guys. So open for questions. Look in the chat. Open for questions. All right. So
If there's a typing error for reflection, Miss.
Oh, thank you. All right. All right. So I'll have to fix that up. Come on. I have to fix that up. So I'll fix that outside of the recording. Thank you so very much for pointing that out. All right. So looking forward to persons heading on over to the first discussion. Click on the link and see what your results are for your learning style, and then respond in whatever format suits you, and then move on. I'm not sure if anybody who started, and apart from Tamara, was there anyone who was able to get into the learning system? The introduction to UDL learning object. Anybody got through to the second phase, or you're still stuck at the first phase? Still stuck? All right, I'll work on that.
Stuck at the first phase. It says I have to wait for registration.
For registration?
It says I can't register myself or something to that effect. So I'm waiting.
That sounds like somebody who is all right. So that sounds like somebody who you didn't complete the form. The person who just responded. Oh, it's Miss Query. Oh, all right. I understand. That is because You just verify the account. I'm gonna add you. I didn't add you. So
Right.
it's not a self-enrolled course. Good. So I'm going to add you right after the training. Right after this webinar, Miss Query, I'll add you. All right?
Super. Thank you. I'd just
Yeah.
like to say this is a very interesting and exciting course. And as you said, it is
Yes.
self-paced. And I would encourage every student to participate because this would be something additional, which will
Yes.
make their resume more attractive.
Exactly. And the ministry is pushing for this.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
an additional skill for the students. So
Thank you.
for those students who are online, please tell your friends, tell everyone so they can come and be a part of this. This is a win-win situation for
Yeah.
any students.
Thank you.
And what is even
Yes.
more is that it's free of cost.
Free. Free. I'm telling you this. UDL is the thing in the first world country. And the Caribbean, you don't have a lot in terms of finding courses or programs or so. And believe you me, the ministry is pushing for inclusive education and for students to learn how to cater to special needs and stuff. This is
Right.
a win-win for our BMC students. So I'm encouraging, and as soon as I get more resources in the area, I'll be putting it out, because this is something, even if you leave BMC, when you graduate, when you leave BMC, there are some of us who will never work in Jamaica. We're going to the first world country. And what you'll find is that the UDL will come in very handy. Not only there anyway, it's going to come in handy right here in Jamaica as well. But just to let you know that it is, I'm gonna just take that word win-win for everybody. And it is free of cost. All right. Thank you so very much for pointing that out, Ms. Creary. Appreciate. All right, students. So tell your friends to sign up. I know it's exam time. The course can be done in a day or two, but it's open. So you can take your own time. You can decide to do one module per day. And in 4 days, the 4 modules are finished, and then you just respond to the discussion at the end. All right. So you know that a week can top it off. All right. So no stress on anybody. Take your time, go through the content. When I was going through one of the modules, I think it was module 3, I had to do it about 4 times. Yes. And I was excited because when I was doing it, I said, oh, it's not as easy as I thought. Yes, guys. So I'm telling you, don't give up. When you're finished, you will be much better. You'll feel better in terms of, as an educator, it will make you, feel much better in terms of your approach towards teaching diverse groups. So guys, I'm encouraging you to just press on, persevere. Chadrick, just mute for me, please, Mr. Shaw. All right, thanks. Good. So just persevere through the program. It's free of cost, and at the end, you will learn something, and you will be more, in tune in terms of, being an effective teacher. UDL is built off what you call learning science. All right. So it is built off what we, research. It is built off research. It's not just people just come up with their own thing. And you'll realize too that what you're going through is a whole resource that was created by the Australian government or Department of Education, because we don't even have anything like this in the Caribbean. So you see, when you guys finish this, I hope that we can be the ones to create a UDL package or resource to suit our context. All right. So we're just gonna, just like us, when I go through the Australian stuff, more than what is in the resource there, I find that they network with other countries that were ahead of them. So we are going to do the same. We're going to network with other countries. All right. And we're going to make this thing work for our students in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much, colleagues and students. I thank you so very much for taking time out to, to join me to see, what this is all about. And I'm really looking forward to, you being able to complete the program and get your certificate. All right. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day until
Miss,
Thank you. I
and you
got
have a
100 in my
evening.
first quiz.
You did your first. You did it. You did.
Yes,
You
and I
did the
got
first
and I
quiz.
got 100%. Yes.
You're kidding me. So you got through, but Tamara couldn't get through
Miss,
because I'm gonna meet with Tamara right after.
She
Tamara.
has to finish. She has to finish the
miss.
introductory part.
No,
Yes.
if I already did it, but you see, when I went to where you said to press enter, I did.
Yes.
But there's a pause button right at Universe Design, but there was not a pause button on our own.
Oh, so it's the device that you were
And when
using
I
that was.
click on it, it say incomplete, suspended me.
Oh, but you're in now. It seemed like you're in Tamara.
Repeat what
Seemed
you
like
said,
you're.
miss?
No, I wasn't hearing
But
everything that you were saying. So is it that you're saying that you're now in
yes,
and the
miss, but
restriction? Yeah, go ahead.
all right, miss, I'm in that part, right? But
Yes.
where there is universal design, there was not a pause button on yours, and then it says suspended. So when I go where I should see introduction, oh, this is what coming up. Scorn player determined that your internet connection, it keep on coming up like that. So the
Probably is
introduction going through.
is connection. So probably you're probably when you where are you you're on the campus?
No, miss, I'm at home.
All right, probably I'm not sure because if it is telling you that because you know how connection, how it goes with connection, sometimes the connection problem can interfere with how we access and view some of the resources. So one thing for sure, Tamara, you are now able to access that introduction to UDL section. So I'm just suggesting whenever I get the chance, you know, to try and check it out probably a little later or so too, when not many when the traffic is not so heavy in terms of internet, and see if you're able to go through. All right, like Mr. Tharp said that he was able to complete the first quiz and got 100% at that. Mr. Tharp, you move like fire. Yeah.
When I'm finished with the quiz, what should I do? Just exit that until I'm ready
No,
again?
when you just click on exit course until you're ready for module 2.
Okay.